What if I told you that Samsung could make the perfect smartphone, but they're choosing not to? The S26 Ultra is launching in just 3 weeks, and while everyone's excited about the new features, I can't help but think about what we're not getting. Today, I'm going to share 5 upgrades that would make the S26 Ultra absolutely incredible. These are features that Samsung could easily include, but they probably never will. And honestly, it's kind of frustrating when you think about what this phone could be. Let's start with something that should have been standard years ago. Where is the 3D Face Unlock on Samsung phones? Apple introduced Face ID back in 2017 with the iPhone X. That was 9 years ago, and Samsung still hasn't caught up. Even Chinese brands like Honor have been including secure 3D Face Unlock in their Magic series phones. The Honor Magic 8 Pro has it, and it works perfectly. At this point, the technology takes up very little space inside the phone. Samsung already has excellent fingerprint scanners, but why can't we have both options? Some people prefer Face Unlock, others like fingerprints. And we shouldn't have to choose between them. But Samsung seems to have completely given up on this feature. Moving on to storage, let's talk about something Samsung took away from us. Remember when Galaxy phones had microSD card slots? Those were the days when you could expand your storage for just a few dollars. Now we're recording 4K 60 video, LOD footage, and taking motion photos. All of this content eats up storage incredibly fast. Samsung charges extra for higher storage options, and while they're not as bad as Apple, it still adds up. Modern microSD cards are faster and more reliable than ever before. You could easily transfer all your photos and videos from your old phone to your new one. But Samsung removed this feature, and there's no sign they're bringing it back. They'd rather sell you the expensive storage upgrade instead. Here's something that might sound crazy, but hear me out. What if Samsung made an S26 Ultra without the S Pen? I know. The S Pen is iconic, and many people love it. But let's be honest about this. Most people never use that S Pen. It just sits there taking up valuable space inside the phone. That space could be used for so many better things. The most obvious choice would be a much bigger battery. Samsung could easily offer 2 versions of the Ultra. One with the S Pen for people who actually use it, and one without it, but with maybe a 6,000 or 7,000 milliamps battery. I guarantee you the no S Pen version would sell like crazy. People want better battery life more than they want a stylus they never touch. Now let's talk about cameras, specifically the telephoto situation. Samsung used to be the zoom king of smartphones. They were first to market with 10x telephoto lenses. Current Ultra phones have 2 telephoto cameras, which sounds impressive. But here's the problem with the 3x telephoto camera. It hasn't really improved in years. The sensor is tiny and the photo quality is just okay. You get noticeable noise and less detail than you'd expect from a flagship phone. There were early rumors that Samsung might finally upgrade this lens for the S26 series. But those rumors have died down, and we're probably getting the same disappointing camera again. For a phone that costs over $1,000, this is just not acceptable. Our final impossible upgrade is all about charging speed. The S26 Ultra is rumored to jump from 45 watt to 60 watt fast charging. That's nice, but Samsung is being way too conservative here. Look at flagship phones from Chinese manufacturers. You commonly see 80 watt, 100 watt, or even faster charging speeds. With those speeds, you can charge your phone to 90% in just 30 minutes. As someone who never charges overnight and just plugs in for half an hour in the morning, this would be game-changing. But Samsung is playing it safe, as usual. Here's the thing that really bothers me about all this. Samsung has basically become a mini Apple. They're happy to deliver tiny improvements each year without changing the fundamentals. And the reason is simple. There's no real competition in Western markets. In Asia, Samsung has to compete with brands offering high-end specs at lower prices. But in Europe and North America, their only real competitors are Apple and Google. Both companies are just as slow to adopt new hardware features. So Samsung doesn't feel pressure to innovate quickly. The S26 Ultra will definitely be a great phone. But for those of us who remember when Samsung made the everything phone with the Galaxy Note series, it always feels like something is missing. These phones used to push boundaries and include every possible feature. Now they feel like they're holding back, playing it safe. What do you think about these missing features? Would you choose an S26 Ultra without an S Pen if it meant getting a much bigger battery? Or do you think Samsung is right to play it safe with these incremental upgrades? Let me know in the comments which of these 5 upgrades you want the most. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest tech discussions. I'll see you in the next one.